What we've seen is that consumers have already moved, right? Sometimes we get this impression that, well, is this new technology? Is it early days for over-the-top and connected TV? And what we've generally seen is that consumers have moved in huge numbers. So generally speaking, you're looking at 3 in 4 Americans is watching streaming content on a Roku or an Apple TV or Samsung Smart TV. So consumers have spoken, they've moved over. And we're now in that interesting phase where media dollars start to follow. And so that's what we're seeing happen right now. In the same way that, a couple of years ago, smartphones consumers were using in large numbers, but the media spend took a little while to catch up. I think we're in that exact phase right now where more and more marketers and agencies are realizing connected TV over the top, this is not really a test stage anymore. This is late mainstream for consumers. I need to put significant marketing dollars against that.
So walk us through how you guys work with big publishers, MVPDs, kind of from the buy side to the sell side, how it all kind of fits together.
Yeah, so we're a demand side platform. So we sit purely on the buy side. So large agencies and marketers, they use our platform to buy media. On the sell side, take a partner like Dish Sling. So they have a skinny bundle product, all streaming over the internet that people use to watch cable TV essentially. They're using a company called Telaria, formerly known as Tremor, as their SSP. And so we connect pipes with Telaria, and so that we can buy ads programmatically. So Dish Sling makes inventory available. We then use audience data, geo-targeting, whatever the marketer really wants to hone in on. We then buy that inventory, connecting through Telaria as the sell-side platform, going to Dish Sling.
So tell us how things are going in terms of volume dollars over the course of the last year, perhaps.
Yeah, what we've seen is an explosion in inventory. So the amount of inventory available has gone up by 10x in the past year. And that's a game changer. Again, part of it's from consumers moving over, but Sling is a good example. We've seen others like that, like Roku, where they have huge amounts of inventory and they're moving it into programmatic. And why that's good for a marketer is that they could execute those buys in broadcast and TV today, but you're largely buying everything that the publisher or the content owner makes available. The benefit of programmatic is that the marketer can now say, well, I actually just want to target people in market for a new car, or I just want to target people in this DMA or this town or this zip code, and they can bring their own decisioning to that. That's always been the advantage of programmatic, and now they can do that on the big screen in the home, as well as the smartphone, the tablet, and the laptop.
So tell us about adoption by the marketers and the big agencies, kind of where they're sitting, and also a little bit about measurement and attribution in this medium.
I think we're right at that phase where we're going from test budgets and exploratory campaigns, moving into more mainstream. We're starting to see marketers and agencies say, I'm still willing to do an upfront with a large network or a cable operator, but I don't want that all to be selected, the inventory selected for me, by the network itself. I want to have a little bit more choice in that process. And so we're seeing some of them say, well, with a major content owner, I want 10% of my upfront to be transacted programmatically through the pipes I described before. In terms of what they're measuring, we see generally two things. One is so much of TV is transacted on the GRP as measured by Nielsen. So we actually partnered with Nielsen to say, well, let's measure incremental GRPs from OTT and connected TV. We know you got 10 GRPs from your broadcast campaign. How many did you get on OTT, on the Roku, on the Apple TV, on other devices? Because a lot of marketers still want to transact apples to apples and understand, typically they're seeing a younger demographic, 18 to 34, you might see greater penetration on OTT devices. So that's one. The other thing that's equally interesting though is that you can measure more closely aligned results with connected TV than you can maybe with broadcast TV. So an example of that would be, let's say you see an ad for an e-commerce site on your connected TV. We can actually track that back to, did someone then go to their laptop and buy something online? And that's something you can't have done in television before. Measuring, did the TV ad actually drive someone to buy something? We think that's going to be monumental for TV and saying, what's providing the greatest ROI to the marketer?
Cool. And finally, Brian, I wanted to ask you about the Trade Desk as a video DSP. You guys have a big footprint in the market overall. not known historically in the video space as much. Tell us about video as part of the mix.
Yeah, we've been a video DSP for the last 3 or 4 years, and at first, we started like many DSPs on the display side of things back in 2009. But what we realized was most marketers, most agencies, they don't think of things in silos. They don't necessarily want a mobile DSP and a video DSP and a DSP for Indonesia and a DSP for South America. They want one platform that's global to hit all their marketing channels. And part of the reason for that is that they can do things like, well, what if I want a frequency cap across different media channels? What if I want to measure how much is TV adding versus how much is the mobile campaign adding? They can do that on our platform. So video is now one of the biggest channels that's bought in our system, and our CEO said recently, we expect connected TV and video to be our largest channel in the next few years.